This video will review some of the features of the home screen in Sierra Summit version 3.1. The home screen is the first screen you see when you log into the Sierra Summit software. You will typically see this either in a studies list view, which is what you see here, or you can switch under view to a patient list view where you can separate out the patients, and then when you click on a patient you'll see all the studies for that particular patient. In both views you can create custom tabs to filter through your patient lists. You can search through your patient lists. You can search either for a name or patient ID. You can open a study, view the info of the study, which would be the patient info, resume a study, or create a new study under that same patient. You can go to the utilities. You can export a study, archive a study, or delete a study. You can go into the editor here, and this is how we edit and create new tabs. So I can create new tabs to filter through this study. So for example, if I wanted to create a tab called Studies in Progress, I can click Add Tab. I'm going to call it Studies in Progress. And then in that tab, I'm going to filter it by only real-time viewer records. So this is only studies that are currently being recorded on another system so that we can review that through CADlink on any other system. So I'm going to check that box, and then I'm going to go ahead and move this tab to the left. So I want it to be the first tab, or maybe second tab that opens up. Then I'm going to hit OK. I also want to go into Edit System Setup and check the box to enable real-time study review. So now when I go to that tab, Studies in Progress, it will only show patients that are currently in progress on another system in the clinic. I'm going to go back to View, and I'll go to the patient list. So the patient list, you still have the tabs here, but in this list you're just seeing the patients. So you see all the patient names, and when you click on a patient, even though this says last 30 days, when you click on a patient, you actually see all the studies that were done on that patient for as long back as you have a study done. So this is filtering by the actual patients done in the last 30 days, and then clicking a patient will show you all the studies that have been done on that patient up to today. In the patient list, you can also start a new study for this patient. So we'll add a new study to the list of studies here. You still have resume, view info, open. You have all your same utilities as far as exporting, archiving, deleting. You can pick more than one study. You can just use either the shift or control commands to pick more than one study, and you can come in and, for example, delete those studies. Also from the Patients tab, I can always start typing in a patient's name or patient ID to search the database to find the patient that I'm looking for here. In either view, whether you're in the patient list or study list, you have F1 is always new patient, and then you have F6, which is setup, and F7 is support. Setup brings you to your setup buttons to where you can set up test protocols, system setup, CAD capture setup. Basically all your settings in your system can be accessed from the setup screen here, or you can go to the support screen where you have typical things like help topics, remote support shortcuts to get remote support from Cadwell. You can save things like instructional videos in this space, so it kind of gives you a place to go for support. In the bottom right corner, if you're using CADlink, it'll show you what user is logged in and what preserve file that user is using. You can switch users just by clicking that button, and you can switch to a different preserve file. This is noticing that I've actually changed settings, and it's asking me if I want to update the preserve file because I have access in my rights to change settings in the preserve file. If I didn't have those rights, this wouldn't show up and it wouldn't allow me to make any changes to the preserve file. I'm going to hit no because I don't want to make any changes. Now you can pick a different user and log in, and that's how you can switch users. In this case, I have multiple preserved files, so I can pick which file I want to use when I log in. I'm going to go back anywhere in Sierra Summit, if you click the home button here, it takes you back to the home screen, which is what we see here. On the right panel, in the studies list or in the bottom in the patients list, you'll see documents. When you select a study, documents would show you all the different reports that were done on that particular study. You can also attach other documents to a study. So if you have a patient or a study that you want to attach documents to, you can just simply click the utilities and add a document, and then you can browse anywhere in your computer network and find what you're looking for. Let's say I just wanted to add, this picture here. So I'm just going to double click that, and now it's added that document or image to that study. So it'll always be saved along with that study. And that's kind of a very brief run through of what you can do in the Sierra Summit home screen.